Hello, fellow YouTubians. Aerosport here. Welcome to the Hangout. All the YouTube greats do driving videos, so I thought I would do one too. The Fin Painter takes us to his hunting cabin. I'm Still Working takes us to her garden, and VW Darren takes us to McDonald's. He has yet to buy me an Egg McMuffin though. I don't have a hunting cabin or a garden, and McDonald's is about 20 miles away. So I thought I would give you a tour of the front 40. So sit back and watch my pups try to get run over by the ATV. The tree line you see to the right roughly runs north and south. If you were to follow it eastward, eventually after going down some rather steep hills, it stops at the creek side. We're turning east onto the first logging trail of 3. You'll see the other 2 a little later. They're not too far away. I watch a bunch of videos covering multiple topics. First up, of course, is the Garage Gang. Then I go on to the gun channels. Next I stop in on the homesteading fellows. They go hand in hand with the foil hat-free prepper channels. With the recently brought to light attacks on our rights and freedoms, I've been spending a great deal of time reading political dogma. It takes a considerable effort to separate fact from conspiracy theories. Just about the time you think you have it all figured out, you find you're reading the writings of a foil-hatted knucklehead who knows the thought police are on the way to cart him off. Why is our country in a state? I'll tell you. It has to be them darn hippies. They grew up, cut their hair, and became senators and congressmen. Who else will want to take away our guns? Well, besides the knucklehead in the big chair. This political stuff is very depressing and weighs heavily on me. To rise above the muck and mire, I look forward to watching the Cutworm 59. His videos are so lighthearted and full of joy, they can't help but raise one's spirits. God bless the Cutworm. Then there's the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. George is another in a long line of wonderful Garage Gang fellas. On a bad day, he is more cheerful than the average person is on a good day. I watch his videos, even if he's talking on a topic I have no interest in, just because he makes the world a little brighter. Kinda like Mr. Rogers, I'd say. The pups love to go down into the wood. I tell you what, if they don't pee on it, they'll poop on it. There's certain words that cause a shiver or aggravate you to the point you forget the gist of the conversation. Boy, I have a short list that pucker my face like eating a lemon. The top two are actually and tactical. Both words are criminally overused. Worst of all, the word actually is never needed. It adds no value to a sentence. It does nothing to convey one's message. For example, what did you do today? Actually, I went to the store. It reminds me of the smart kid in the class always correcting everything that everybody said or did. Jimmy dropped his cake at lunch. Actually, he dropped a brownie. I'm getting shivers just thinking about it. Brownie sounds good right about now. Not too long ago, I stopped by the local gun shop. I'd been there several times before and never witnessed the word tactical on anything. Now it was on everything. Tactical bows, tactical arrows, tactical BB guns, tactical bootlaces, tactical sleeping bags. I mean, it was on every darn thing. I'd made mention of the tactical stuff to the counter girl, and she says, actually, we just received a shipment of tactical toilet paper. It's on aisle 7. Have you guys seen Doomsday Prepper? Man, I'm telling you, leave it to National Geographic TV to take a good idea and turn it into a foil hat event. Just goes to show you how low National Geographic will go to get the almighty dollar. And then, trying to make us think storing food and water for a rainy day is a new idea? I don't think so. People been doing that for hundreds of years. Shoot, our narrow butts would still be out in the fields if it weren't for the enticement of the easy life while working and living in the city. You know, bad things happen to all of us. During the 8 years on this mountain, we have been without power and water several times. Sandy disrupted power in all but 2 counties in our state. That left us free from the trappings of power and water for 10 days. We were lucky it was only 10. Others found themselves without for more than a month. And then, last winter, we were snowed in for a week. No power, no heat, no way to get out. Our 4-wheel drive tractor was stuck in the still falling snow. During these times, we weren't hungry. We had food to eat and water to drink. We were not comfortable. Anything but. I was near heat stroke in the summer and almost a poop sickle in the winter. We made minor changes after all this by storing a good deal more food. More needs to be done, and alternate means of heating and cooling are needed. We have a nice 12 kW generator. Problem is, I don't live in my shop. How would you stack up in the same condition? Would you be counting on someone to come feed you or save you from freezing? The LDS prepper did a disaster exercise. First glance, it looked like he was good to go. Then one by one, problems started cropping up. I think he concluded his exercise a failure. I don't think so. I think it did just what an exercise should do. It clearly exposed the shortcomings of his plan. You can bet he's corrected these deficiencies. Might be an idea to take a look and see if you have some of the same problems. It's much cheaper to learn from others' failings than it is your own. Try being off the grid for 2 or so days. No water, no power, no natural gas. If you have it on hand, use it. You know, stuff like camping stoves, candles, flashlights, generators, etc. Let me know how it turns out. Misty Prepper can show you how to thrive off the grid. Her family does it, all with little money and I think only a small generator. They use wood-fired stove for cooking and heating. They raise and process most, if not all, of their food. Take you a trip most of the way back to the early 1800s and see what it took to live. Another fine prepper channel is I'm Still Working. Here's a lady that does it all. She works a full-time job, maintains her household, 2 large gardens, and chickens to boot. She demonstrates cooking and canning along with several long-term food storage practices. She's the real deal, and cute too. Well, pretty sure that you fellows have had just about as much of this as you can possibly stand, so we're coming to an end. I'd like for you to keep one thing in mind. We're on the cusp of troubled times, so please, be nice to each other, take care, and be safe.